Hey ManCavians, this is Bob from the Bob's N-Scale ManCave, and today we're doing a review of the Scale Trains 53-foot refrigerated container. This one happens to be from Tiger Cool Express, and there's a bunch of other ones out there as well, and I have a few of those to show you today. So I'm going to compare a few of these with some other brands that are out there and see how they fare. Let's go take a look. This 53-foot refrigerated container by Scale Trains has a reefer and fuel tank in a molded caged end. It also has some very fine details on the roof and on the bottom, all raised ribbing. You can even see the ribbing on the sides. Get up close. The prototype color for this model that they took a picture of, and I'll show you right now, is pretty accurate. The green looks the same, and this blue Cool Express looks the same. Also have some pretty good details even in some of the logo coloring and transitioning between the little fast S stuff. They got some white in the S, so they got the details exact. I think they did a really good job with color matching. The lettering is legible, and the reefer also has the same kind of reefer on all the different containers that are out there in the model. This is different than from the prototype as shown in this picture because they used the prototype of what they used on a CR England reefer, and that's what they used, and they're using that to mass produce all the containers to look the same. Since this is an operator version, they went with that and made it a lot more cost effective. If this was a rivet counter version, they would have made a reefer unit that looked just like the picture. On the back side where the doors are, there's details that you don't see in other container products by other companies, and that is you have all these locking bars on the doors. All the raised pieces are different colors, and it's more detailed, more information on the bottom. You got some red markings down here, just like the prototype picture. Very fine detail. Also, what you may notice on Scale Trains models, they never put their logo on there because the prototype does not have a Scale Trains logo on it. It makes sense. Why should I put a logo on it that is just going to make it look like a model instead of the prototype? Some of the things that are missing from this model versus the pictures of the prototype is that there is some orange and black markings that are up here on both ends, and there's also like a hazard placard holder on the model that isn't on here. But they didn't go to that level of detail, and it would have taken away from an easier way of putting it all on to the mass market. Okay, let's take a look at the Con-Cor Tiger Cool Express version of what their containers look like. Now, as you can see right away, that the color of this logo is different. And here's a comparison. It's purple. The Cool Express is purple. The Tiger is darker green. Now I found prototype pictures of this kind of color on a lot of Google pictures that I found, but I didn't find a whole lot of this. The pictures I got of the prototype that Scale Trains use are supplied by Scale Trains, so I have their pictures, and that's what you're seeing here. And their model matches the pictures that they took. Another thing that you may notice is the lettering. There's not a whole lot of other lettering and details on the Con-Cor one as there is on the Scale Trains one. A side-by-side comparison of the reefer units ends looks a whole lot different. There is, I don't know what this green stuff is here at all. I have never seen anything like that on the end of a container. If that's a cooling unit, I don't see a radiator. I'm not sure. If anybody has a prototype picture of this looking like that, I'd like to see it, but I have yet to find one anywhere. It definitely doesn't look like what you would expect to see out on the railroad. As you can see on the top, it's gray versus white, very plain on the Con-Cor side. And if you go over to the doors, you definitely can see a difference between the Con-Cor and the Scale Trains. One being completely white, no detail of the lock bars for the doors, no safety paintings. They do have some lettering and some logos on here, but it doesn't quite match what I would have expected to see on a prototype. It has roughly the same kind of details on the bottom, kind of plain, and they have a logo right here. You can barely see it, but it says Con-Cor. It's their Con-Cor logo. There you go, you can see the logo right there. Okay, here's another test, and that's to see if it fits. You know, you really want to see if this thing will fit in your well cars. So this is the first time I'm putting this into a Deluxe Innovations well car. Hey, and it fits. Fits perfectly. Here's the reason why I'm testing to see if it fits. This is a Microtrains line container in a Deluxe Innovations 53-foot well car. As you notice, it's sitting in there. I didn't put it in there on camera because it's stuck in there. I can't get it out. Okay? It is too big to fit inside. But if you press on it, and you press on it, you can make it fit. The only problem is, the only way to get it out is to push from the bottom of these cars to get them out. So, something to keep a little eye on. I have not tested the Microtrains containers with any other brand of cars like Kato, but when I did talk to Microtrains, they did say it does fit in a Kato, but they never tested it in a Deluxe Innovations. When, you know, now I did, and it doesn't pass my fit test. And as you can see from here, I can lift this Scale Trains one right out and put it right back in. Okay, let's see if this thing will stack up with other Scale Trains products. And it does, not a problem. On the Microtrains, they don't quite stack up onto each other, two different brands. So it's probably a good idea to stick with the same brand of containers on top of other containers, because they're made to fit. So there are other containers that I picked up today. I got some dry containers and the refrigerated reefers. This one is from Schneider, and this one is from FedEx. This one is a JB Hunt. There's another JB Hunt intermodal with the green intermodal emblem on there, kind of comparison. And then we have a JB intermodal refrigerated container, just like the other one that's dry. And one from Martin, dry container. We also have a Quick Tracks. We also have another JB Hunt without the green emblem on there. And then we have a CR England Global Transportation. And Cargo Cool Canadian National. Okay, an easy way to open these. At the bottom here you have this little bump for some reason is in there. And it's a sealed package, but the easiest way to do it is just get your fingernail in there underneath that bump. Peel it open. There you go. Otherwise it rips this cardboard all up if you try to do it any other way, so that's the easiest way I found to do it. Well, ManCavians, this concludes this review of the Scale Train's 53-foot containers, refrigerated and dry containers. This one was basically a Tiger Cool Express kind of comparison with the other brand, Deluxe Innovations. And one thing I did notice is on one of the containers, one of the pins on the bottom had broken off, so it didn't sit well on the other containers, and it seemed like it wasn't quite fitting. So beware, you might run into those every once in a while and you just got to deal with it. But all in all, it's a very good product. I am very happy with those that I have, and there are tons and tons more that they are making and putting out and releasing in different road names and road numbers. I just got like one of the first 11 that came out, and so actually one of the first 12 that came out, and so the comparison between the two is it's hands down Scale Trains is better detailed and overall product than some of the other two that I reviewed. The Microtrains container I did get out. It was just tight fitting in the Deluxe Innovations car. Probably just the car itself was a little bit thinner than it should have been, but it did come out fairly easy once I really pulled on it. But you got to be careful, pieces fall off, and one of my etched railings and walkways came off of it, so I had to glue it back on. But all in all, this is a very good product, and I would recommend getting it, getting some for your layout if you want to do intermodal. But if you're into that, this is a good prototype model to put on your layout. Till next time, guys, have fun. Bye. So if you like what you saw here today, go ahead and click subscribe down here below, or follow my Facebook, Google+, Twitter, and my Instagram links down here below in the comments. Also, click on one of my other links for videos as well. As always, ManCavians, happy model railroading. Stay off the tracks. Bye.